And we're back. And today we're going to be testing Aridio. I was going to do volcanoes, but a lot of people recommended I should try this one out, that it's very, very difficult to start, so I thought I'd give it a quick gander. So let's have a look and see what we'll be facing. Now, the first and most important feature of Aridio is temperature. Effectively, your starting area, only the area just around the gateway, is below 30 degrees. Everything outside of that is above 30 degrees, which means mealwood will not grow here. Your default biome is actually too warm to support even mealwood. Your basic food source, the one you use for everything, yeah, see that stuff there? That's going to start stifling shortly because the temperature is too warm for it. It's going up. Once it hits 30 degrees, that's stifled. Um, Now, what else is there? Well, you're starting in the forest biome as normal, which means your only source of oxygen is oxyferns. You're going to be surrounded by granite, pretty much standard issue, so you're not getting out of here until you get +1 digging skill, so we're going to need hard digging just even to exit the biome. The +1 digging skill will get us out, and this is a weird thing. Well, this is not weird. It's just how they've engineered it. You'll see this abyssalite ring around the edge. This will basically prevent you from getting into any slime biomes until you get level 2 digging. Once you've got level 1 digging, you can gain access to caustic biomes and rust biomes. They're the two biomes you'll gain access to at level 1 digging. It won't be until you get level 2 digging, super hard digging, that you can get through abyssalite that you'll be able to get into the slime biomes. And that's important. The reason being, well, there's no good food sources here. Mealwood is just going to die unless you chill some places down. You're not going to be able to grow mealwood at all. All the surrounding area, yep, too warm. There is no biomes that are going to support mealwood for you. So you're stuck with what? Mealwood or pip ranching. You could ranch pips for food, but you're going to tide yourself over. Also, water seems to be pretty short supplied. So you're going to be living off hexlant fruit. Then you're going to be living off mush bars, which you're probably going to have to fry, which is very water heavy and intensive. Well, water heavy and duplicate intensive. But once you get out of here, once you get level 1 digging, you can get access to the salt water, and yeah, that's about it. You'll gain access to some salt water in the rust biomes. There's not a lot of it, so water could be a tricky problem. We'll have to see. I think though the best bet is going to be rush to tier 2 digging, get into a slime biome, and get your hands on some mushrooms. There should be a few mushroom seeds in here, and you can use those. Like there's one there. They can survive up to 35 degrees, so it should be possible to run a mushroom farm. That would probably be my first stop for food. Tide myself over with mush bars, get along to those. We'll see how that works out. There are no ice biomes, none whatsoever. Good luck with that. So no wheezeworts, no anti-entropy nullifiers, or any sort of cool biomes. Good luck. And oh, I suppose that. Where is it? Give me some plants overlays. Guess this is going to slow my game down quite a bit. Here we are. You'll see that there's actually other forest biomes in on this map. So you can actually find more arbor trees, more oxyferns, stuff like that. They are actually around the place. So you can theoretically rush for these, but you're going to need to get abyssalite mining. And it won't really do you much good. They're all above 30 degrees as well. In fact, everything here is above 30 degrees. So good luck getting any nice cooling going on. Anyway, we'll fire this sucker up and give it a go. In the comments, the Berbert pointed out that you can't get metal poor, metal rich anymore, or geodormant, geoactive, like as combined traits. They've made them mutually exclusive. So this is about the closest I'm going to get to a default asteroid. Just have to live with it. Normal starting dupes, 2 diggers, 1 science. I also ended up with a quick learner and mole hands again for no reason. So let's give this a shot. Immediately dig out the starting areas, get your a little bit of resources together so you can start putting in your toilets, your sinks, and get access to the water. Basically, standard play. Yeah, we're going to have to give it in a water tank there. Quickly realize that you forgot to set your priorities again, because that's just a tradition at this point. And you're going to be researching. Excellent. Then we'll just set all of this up and we should be good to go. And how did I mess that up? You know what? Don't care. It'll do for now. Coming up on the end of cycle 1, we've almost got all our toilets, sinks, and beds up and running. And that should be the end of most of those problems. Oh. Nope, wrong direction. And germs. Yeah, let's just turn that off. They've never been a big problem. I don't see the point of wasting time on them. That should be the end of that, and now we can actually set up science. Science is straight for meal prep, of course, because, that's pretty much what it is every single time. After we do meal prep, though, the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to try doing, well, large batteries, supercomputers, and then we're going to go straight for temperature management, which will be temperature modulation. This, I'm going to give the icy fan a shot. Maybe we can run some small mealwood farms with just a little bit of temperature management. We'll see how that works out. First duplicate choice, we've actually got ourselves someone I'm going to take that normally wouldn't, a loud sleeper, because they've got animal husbandry. I do want ranching usually at some point. Actually, I want agriculture at this point. I'm not going to be doing ranching this playthrough. Hmm. Actually, they can cover both. Welcome aboard, Mallory. We're going to need to get you a bed. Oh yes, I've switched to playing these on super speed so I can get them done faster. It seemed like a smarter idea. Some people don't like using debug speed. They think it's cheaty, but I just want to get this finished quicker. And oh crap, ran out of build command. Now I've immediately moved Mallory to a completely different schedule. They're a loud sleeper, and I don't want them sleeping at the same time as anyone else, or they will wake them up. So this way they'll actually sleep at a completely different schedule setting. So when they're doing that, when they're asleep and loud sleeping away, there'll be no one else asleep to wake up. That's why loud sleeper is not the worst, but I don't like using it. It just means you're forced to put them on a particular schedule, and I can't put anyone else on that schedule now, until I get a second bedroom set up, which I'm going to do anyway. And here we get to see a loud sleeper in action. Very rare. But yeah, any duplicates that would be sleeping in that area will get woken up by Mallory's loud sleeping. That's why you don't want to place them anywhere near any other duplicates when they will also be asleep. So a little bit of quick schedule management, make sure that that doesn't happen. Once they wake up, someone else will be on. Oh, actually, I'm going to give everyone 3 downtime slots. It gives them more morale, though it does eat slightly into my productivity. Anyway, back to our regular scheduled digging. Time to dig down and set up an oxyfern pit. After the last game, I realized oxyferns are not terrible. They're just, well, okay, they're not terrible. That's the best I can say about them so far. Cycle 4, it's all starting to come together. We've got your usual bathrooms, bedrooms. Oh, I need to finish that one. Krieger, you're sleeping in a non-finished bedroom. Oh well, doesn't matter. They'll get a +3 morale bonus from the mess hall, so that'll keep everyone happy. And I've managed to trap 2 pips in there. You know what? I will open up the doors and let them out to cause chaos. Why not? Also found some more water down here. I'm going to have to access that. First, I want to dig down though and get myself up my my CO2 pit for my oxyfern farms. Also, there's an awful lot of acorn arbor trees down here. Yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. I think I'll just set that up now. Oh, science. Batteries are done. Time for advanced science. Damn it, the shine bug is waking up my dupes. That was a mistake. Should have left that door closed and that wouldn't have got in there. There we go. Better. Skill points, usual assignment. The 2 diggers get straight into digging and scientists get straight into science. And that should allow me to get most of what I need. Changing my mind on research. Rusty oxidizers is what I was going to use, so immediately into rusty oxidizers it is. I'll also need mesh tiles, and that means I'll also need a carbon skimmer, and I'm also going to need a water sieve. So lots of research to go. And in the interim, I am just going to dig, and dig some more. And soon we'll have another duplicate, or something to choose from at least. Wow, okay, that is... Yeah, there's going to be a lot of digging. This is a huge biome. I didn't realize how big the biome was that you started in, or maybe it's just the way this one worked out. Oh, and there's our fresh water. Wonderful. And a complete waste. We have noodle arms and slow learner. I'd rather not deal with those, plus their interests are not really very useful. Saltwater and pufflet eggs. Oh, I thought about ranching puffs in this, but honestly, they're just not worth it. We'll just reject all of these. So after much research, we've got carbon skimming, we've also got the water sieve, mesh tiles, and we've got rusty oxidizers. So at this point, it is time for me to actually go get some rust. I've set up the rusty oxidizers here. You're going to notice there's mesh tiles underneath them. I'm going to have all the chlorine fall down here into this pit. Also, there's mesh tiles all the way up the map, and a couple more rusty oxidizers. I'm going to install them just to make sure I can spread out the oxygen. Now, they do give off a fair chunk of heat, which is why I'm keeping them away from my core base and putting them above and below it. It'll just slow down the heat transfer as time goes by. Now, for rust and salt, I'm thinking I'll go out here. There's a whole bunch of salt and rust right there, just fresh for the taking. Oh, and there's a salt vine. I'm going to need a few of those to actually soak up all the carbon dioxide or soak up all the chlorine. Yeah, let's just go across here and pick that up as well. And I might want to prioritize some of this. So we got a decent set of duplicate choices here actually. Squeamish, narcoleptic, which I don't particularly like, and gastrophobia. So squeamish and gastrophobia I can live with. Diver's lung and animal husbandry, but I'm not actually going to ranching this game, so I think I'm just going to go with this one and make it a tinker dog for myself, so Cheryl can join the team. Barring that, we're just starting to get our hands on rust and salt. This map is really, really big. Like, look at the amount of digging that's gone on already. That's only cycle 12. The biome you start off in, I don't know if it's just this map, but it's an enormous biome. This should give me access out here, and once I get level 2 digging, I can get in here and get slime. Actually, the slime biome is right there. Any more slime biomes around? Not that I can see. Ooh, there's coal and iron. Okay, so power's sorted as well. Yeah, this biome doesn't seem that hard so far. We'll see. Once I get crops up and running, we'll see how well it works out. So we've got one of my dupes up to super hard digging. Krieger's gone into advanced research. Lana is just coming up on super hard digging as well. Mallory we put into improved carrying just so we could get some movement going on, and Cheryl has gone straight into tinkering. They'll be getting improved carrying to go with that as well. So now that we've got level 2 digging, we can actually start cutting into slime, and I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. I want to break into here and start getting mushrooms and start setting up a mushroom farm. As it is, calorie-wise, I'm swimming in the damn hexalent roots, or hexalent plants. There seems to be quite a few of them in this biome. Maybe I'm just getting lucky, but I'm finding I have a lot of calories still. Is there any left? No, I think I've dug up all of them, so I need to get my hands on mushrooms now. I think I'll actually come in from the top and go down, and I'm not going to care about getting hit by slime lung. Yep, slime lung's just going to happen. I am going to demolish the whole biome, and if I get slime lung, I get slime lung. This stuff isn't fatal anymore. So long as I get my hands on some mushrooms and can start up a farm, it doesn't really matter. And speaking of that, I should really set one up down here. Now I'm going to need somewhere to store slime, so I'm going to put in a little storage bin here, and I'm going to dump some water on top of it. So yeah, I want all the seeds. There's got to be some mushroom seeds in here, and so long as I can get my hands on them, I should be able to sort out getting my food up and running. Now, I've thought about using squeaky puffs and things like that. I thought about ranching the pips, but all of those take too long just to get the farms up and running. So I figure I might be just safer to use the mushrooms if I can get my hands on them fast enough. Now, I haven't actually managed to achieve any fungal spores yet from anything, like from the gate or anything like that. I haven't taken any food, water, nothing from the gate, just to be safe. I just want to make sure this is as standard a playthrough as possible. This should work. Now, all my dupes are definitely going to get infected with slime lung because I'm taking absolutely zero precautions. I am just going to demolish everything, and germs are going to go run rampant. Yep, there they start to go. Do I need to have filtration material? How do I not have sand? Is there no sand in the starting area? One moment. Okay, so there's no sand in the starting biome. I'm going to have to tap into a caustic biome to get my hands on some. Well, this is slightly embarrassing. I never even thought about sand. We'll just dig up there and we'll go grab ourselves some sand. No, actually we won't. We'll do it that way because we don't want to let any chlorine in just yet. Also, these rusty oxidizers are doing their job quite nicely. You'll see oxygen overlay. Base is nicely pressurized. Well, okay, we get a little bit of CO2 in some random areas, but all in all, it's all working out. Which reminds me, I should move this whole science facility down one layer. Got my first few fungal spores. This should make life easier. Only 3 so far, but they'll expand. 60,000 calories left until I can start. Yeah, no, I should be okay. I should actually manage to get enough of these up and running. And the temperature down here is a quite balmy 32, 33. Yeah, they can survive up to 35, so just about. Oh, actually, that's a bit warm there. You know, insulated tiles. Knew there was a reason I got those. And the slime biome gets demolished. All because I want the tasty, tasty mushrooms contained therein. Should be fairly simple. Skills-wise, yeah, I've pulled all research. I don't care. I haven't hired any new duplicates because I haven't found anyone really worth taking on. By and large, this should cover food. Oxygen-wise, we don't really care. We've got so much rust to draw on that it's not even an issue. Duplicate-wise, I mean, squeamish, yes, but they literally have nothing I want. Farming and cooking, who cares? Yeah, I'm just going to reject all of these. I don't take on any of the resource packets because that could mess up what it could be considered a standard playthrough. I think I'm getting to the point where, yeah, I've got enough seeds that I'll probably survive one way or the other. I might have to do a little bit of farming and agriculture to get them up and running, but yeah, we've got 3 down, 4. Damn, the damn pips keep planting mealwoods down here for no apparent reason. Sometimes I just want to lock them in a room. Actually, I think I will. Time for super hard digging. For Archer, Krieger gets up to Super Science, and Mallory, yeah, we'll just give you more improved carrying. Uh, and Cheryl, look, you know what, we'll give you some improved carrying as well. I've actually stuck on this many dupes because I just have not hit any decent ones. Archer's also got infected with slime lung. I think it's making them a little bit slow about moving. I'm also taking this polluted water down here, sieving it, and dumping it into my water tank. That basically solves my water problems for a long time to come. Calorie-wise, these dust caps are coming along, but oh god damn pips! You know what? Oh, I'm so tempted just to hit the attack button right there. They're really getting on my nerves. But no, it's fine. It's fine. I've got to finish these salt vines as well. This whole bottom of my base is unbreathable, and I really don't like how long my dupes have to hold their breath coming down here. Are you knocking the slime out of that bin? You know what? I think it's time we got rid. No, no. It's just tiredness kicking in. It's fine. Okay, so rust-wise, rusty oxidizers are pretty much the way to go for oxygen. Water-wise, we're pretty much covered. We've got all of that filtered, polluted water that's going to fill up the tank. Food-wise, I'm waiting to see if that works out. Gastrophobia, 7 strength, I don't need a super tidy dupe. Small bladder, athletics, strength, and science. Yeah, it'd be a decent dupe, actually. You can join the fold. And that brings us up to 6 dupes, and oh my god, I don't have enough beds for everyone, do I? You know what, let's just throw in a couple more. Change up the schedules. Yeah. There we go. We're still leaving Mallory way off on her own because we don't want her messing with the sleep schedules, sleep patterns of everyone else. Sticking a couple more there. Oh, yeah, and that's pretty well covered. And why is that? Okay, there's oxygen pollution exposure. What is in there that's causing pollution? I think there's some polluted dirt in here. I am going to have to get that out of there. We're going to make that a priority 9. Yeah, that's going to contaminate my food if I leave it in there. Well, once I start getting mushrooms, that is. We're going to put the polluted dirt anywhere. It's fine. Also, we're going to let that big cloud of carbon dioxide that's up there flow down here. It should force everything else out. Okay, let's actually slow this down just a tad. Fried mushrooms have started coming online. For the rusty oxidizers, I'm running a bit short on salt, so I'm going to need to do a salt run and get more salt. Algae-wise, I should have a whole bunch of that. Yeah, algae, I've got 5.4 tons of algae. I'm not really worried about oxygen to be worried at the moment, to be honest at the moment. Water-wise, I'm still pumping in about 5 kilos a second out of here. Now, all I need to really do to just get to a really nice point would be get a big vein of coal into my... Oh, there's coal. Yeah, there's coal over here. And I think there's some down here. There's loads of coal around the place. A big run for coal, and that will be super stability. Okay, there's a whole bunch of salt over there. As far as I can see, this map is pretty much stable at this point. I mean, okay, I'd have to find some geysers to really sort it out, but yeah, I think this is good. This map does not seem that bad. Food, I might have to resort to mush bars for a little bit, but mush bars are water expensive, and oh my god, the pips wreaked havoc down here. That is driving me mental. And that fern is actually causing me problems with generating oxygen down here. Oh my god, I really want to murder those little buggers. Ugh. Yeah, okay, all done there. Yeah, I think this map is pretty much sorted. You don't really have to care too much. Just get your hands on some mushrooms early if food is your problem. Keep your pips out of there. Oxygen-wise, you've got the rusty oxidizers, and now that I've got my hands on insufficient oxygen generation. Oh, what, I'm 10 kilos short. Yeah, I think I can live. What's my oxygen overlay looking like? Yeah, 1.4 kilos. I have plenty of oxygen everywhere. The whole base is well pressurized, excluding down here where I actually want CO2. Also, is that research finished? Please tell me it's finished. I researched park signs, and I'm going to build a national park here. The reason being, all my dupes hang out by they hang out by this doorway when they're not actually doing anything. Miscellaneous. Building 2, goes plant 3. At least 4 wild plants for a nature park reserve. Once I get a 4th plant planted in here, this will become a nature reserve. I just got to convince my pips to plant something in there. You know what? I'm going to start collecting all my seeds in this room for some bizarre reason. Who knows why? Yes, put all the seeds in a little container there, and then start uprooting all the plants around the map. My pips should come running. Okay, so I'm hopefully shortly going to have a national park up and running. That pip, if it will ever get around, you know what? I'm going to close the door on that, just so it can't get back out again. That pip should hopefully plant another plant in there, and once it does, I should actually have a park, and then shortly thereafterwards, a natural park. Or, yeah, one of those ones that give +6 morale bonuses. I'm good with that. You know what? There we go. All the seeds are on the ground. No need to go rooting anymore. Now, water-wise, this map pretty much sorted. This polluted water is going to keep me going for a long, long time to come. Food-wise, I never got up to enough mushrooms in time, so I've had to start making mush bars. Yeah, also I forgot to hire a cook because I'm an idiot and I wasn't paying attention. If you look at my skills, I think Mallory was the one who was supposed to get into cooking, and I instead wasted it on improved carrying and farming when +1 grilling would have solved all my problems. I haven't been grilling the mushrooms and I haven't been frying the mush bars. I'm probably going to get some sick dupes. It's fine. I have enough water to manage on mush bars, and I'll hold out. I'll definitely be able to get up enough mushrooms at a time. I think it's 2.6 mushrooms, dress caps, support 1 duplicant. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have enough of these shortly. This down here, I just set up a little carbon skimmer to make sure the carbon can't go above the bottom 2 levels. Once that's full up, I'll be fine. Salt-wise, yeah, I think I need more salt, but there's plenty of salt around the map. If you look over here, where is it? Yeah, there's plenty of salt I can gain access to. That's not going to be an issue. Coal-wise, I've got 21 tons of coal. I'm actually setting up coal generators now, and I'm living off the old jumbo batteries, but I'm researching up to the regular ones. As far as I can see, this map is kind of solved, actually, already. I've got all the tools I need in place just to finish this off. Rust Deoxodizers are the way to go. I've also got algae if you really want to either. Was it? Yeah, we got 6 tons of algae. So we've got the algae, we've got the rust. I can definitely get more salt. We've got coal. We've got plenty of water. Food-wise, we're pretty much sorted on this front. And temperature-wise, this is still 32, 33 degrees down here. And let's up here. Well, I could almost go mealwood in some of these places down here. Yeah. Point being, I think the map's done. I think this is just this is fairly coverable. You just have to smash into slime quickly to get the mushrooms. That will solve your food. I don't know if this was just a giant biome I got, but that is just so much space I had to fill up. And I've managed to pressurize it all with oxygen. Yeah, that is a well-oxygenated, pressurized map. So yeah, dust caps. That will solve your problems on this map. Don't forget to get some salt vines to get rid of the chlorine you're going to develop with all these rusty oxidizers. But barring that, yeah, pretty happy with this map. I think it's a pretty decent one. Forces you to think a little bit outside the box. And did they? I think they did. Yes, now I have the nature reserve. Anytime any of my dupes take a break, they will now wait in here. They always if you don't have a recreational room, usually in their downtime. Where's the schedules? Yeah, it's coming up on one of them now. We might as well have a look. Once they get into their downtime schedule, they usually come in here to wait around for a bit. Well, they should. Oh, I don't give them enough downtime. You know what? Let's give them 4 chunks, see what happens. That one did get in there. Went into the nature reserve. Yeah, +6 morale from the nature reserve. Okay, so if I give them 4 downtime slots, they'll have enough time to actually get down here. See, there they are. They're hanging around outside the printing pod. If you don't give them room to a recreational room, they'll hang out around the printing pod. So if you arrange it so that you can put a natural park built in with your printing pod, handy way to make sure they always hang out at the printing pod at the end of the shift. Actually, how long does that last? Doesn't tell you. I finished up this video, and then for some strange reason I kept playing the game. I was enjoying it too much to actually stop. So I kind of wanted to go back and just cover why I actually enjoyed playing this map so much, and why I kept playing even after it had gone so late I couldn't record any additional footage for fear of waking up the house. But first I should probably cover what I did right on this map. Well, what I think I did right and what I think I did wrong. Firstly, ooh, actually that's a little bit too much info for now. Yeah, putting in rust deoxidizers. This has been pointed out to me by several people, especially when it comes to electrolyzers. Yeah, the output's about 70 degrees, but it takes so long for it to actually cause meaningful temperature change, you can get away with it for a while. That's a little bit close to my crops down here, but they're still going fine. Be a good idea maybe to delete that and move that up a few floors. Having this straight down line of rust deoxidizers straight up the middle with the mesh tiles to let the chlorine drop down. Yeah, the chlorine comes out of this in liquid form, so you just let it all the way drop down. Makes things very simple. If I had to do it all again, I would put these one tile more to the left. Well, the reason these are so great is it takes you about cycle 5 to get hard digging. Once that you can have 2 dupes with hard digging, at that point you can gain access to all the rust biomes in the surrounding area. Yeah, that just means oxygen solved at that point for quite some time. Second up is food. Going straight for mushrooms worked out perfectly for me. It seems like this is probably the simplest thing to do. You may have to tide yourself over for just a short period of time with some mush bars, but you don't actually need that much tech early on to get everything you need. All you need is, well, rusty oxidizers, a water sieve, a carbon skimmer, assuming you want to get rid of some of the carbon dioxide, but that's you could probably even delay that. So you can survive on a few mush bars, so even if your water supply is quite minimal. And once you do get the mushrooms up, you're not actually spending any water on your food. You're not actually spending any water on your oxygen. And you're pretty much sorted from there on out. And as you start to expand more, I mean, you'll get into slime about cycle 14 to 15. You'll get super hard digging. Yeah, that's when your dupes will get up to super hard digging. It's about cycle 14 or 15. So once you've got the mushrooms in place, well, and you don't be silly and make sure you hire someone who can run a grill. That was my bad. But assuming you do all of that, you're pretty much sorted, which sort of segues me nicely into why I enjoyed this map so much. I just kept digging. I just didn't stop. The reason being, you don't need. Normally, you have to rush an electrolyzer. It's always the thing. You don't have enough algae or whatever it is to keep you running. You have to get into using water as an oxygen supply. Oxyferns just don't produce enough. Algae just there's not enough of it. And rust, I never really played around with this extensively. I sort of played around with this design once before, but I sort of figured it out on the fly as opposed to actually having coming in with a plan. With rust, you could definitely get away with a lot. Like this entire rust biome over here, that's just oxygen waiting to be converted. Just all of that is oxygen. These salt biomes are actually really important as well. You need the salt out of here. You're not going to get enough salt out of the rust biome to convert all that rust. Now, I did some brief napkin calculations based on the amount of salt I have and the amount of algae I have. I have about 80 cycles worth of oxygen left for 10 dupes, just on algae and rust, well, salt alone. So I've got 80 cycles worth of oxygen to play around with, and I haven't really been killing myself. All I've been doing is just digging out more areas. So what makes this map so much fun is you can just keep digging. Everything you dig into is actually useful. The slime just gives you more algae and polluted water. I mean, I'm not actually spending water on anything except science. I can science like crazy. I don't have to care. I never even bothered converting the toilets. I really should actually have gotten around to that. That was just laziness on my part. But you don't have much water draw because you're living on mushrooms. You don't have any water draw on your oxygen either. So I'm actually got too much water. I haven't even bothered using this polluted chunk over here. There's more there, more there. There's just water everywhere. The joy of this map is everything below space and above oil, your duplicants can just wander in and access it. You don't have to actually get them exosuits. You don't have to bother pumping lots of oxygen into places. You just run one central spine of rusty oxidizers and oxygenate the entire map. This is a well pressurized map, and I haven't done much at all. I'm also running it all on 2 coal generators. I'm only using 2 coal generators, one smart battery, and a single 1 kilowatt wire. And I'm not even sure that's that overloaded. Okay, I got 1.56, but honestly, the supercomputer research station, there's not much really going on here. That micro musher I could actually remove now. I've got more than enough mushrooms. Oh, one downside, I didn't hire enough dupes. My dupe choice was bad. I did not plan that correctly on this one, namely because you don't need to ranch really on this. Now, well, let me cover that maybe a little bit more thoroughly. At this point in the game, you've got to the point where you can do whatever you want. You've got all the resources of all the biomes except for oil and space. You could set up a pip ranch. You could run them on arbor trees and get into doing barbecue. You could set up wild pepper nuts. You could set up wild timbleweeds. Yeah, you can basically get your pips to start planting them wild all over the map and just start, yeah, planning all of that out. You don't even need to be too fast about it because you've got plenty of resources all around the map that you've got to keep you going. So you've got plenty of chances to do the ranching if you really want it. But early on, you don't need it. All you need is one rancher so that you can move the pips about to get seeds planted where you want them, usually for a national park. The rest of the time, you're just going to be living on these mushrooms. So if I had to do it all over again, I would definitely go two diggers, of course, one researcher, of course, one cooker slash dog's body to actually grill my mushrooms for me. I would do one, or yeah, I would do one critter rancher as well. Definitely one critter rancher. And then after that, it doesn't really matter. I would probably go with a couple of, well, one artist, of course, and then tinkerers or maybe an extra dog's body or two. You basically have options. You can keep adding on dupes if you really want to. You will have the resources to do it. That's what made this map so much fun. Just for giggles, dug all the way over to the left side and all the way over to the right side, just so I've touched the edge of the map. You've got time. This map is probably the easiest one I've played in a while. Okay, I did just finish Oasis and Badlands testing, so this may have influenced me, but I think it was also the fact that I'm getting used to the rust mechanics, or the rust deoxidizer and the salt vines and just all the mechanics of the game. I've done a lot of restarts in the last few videos, so or with all the maps I've been playing, so I've kind of got the hang of the newer mechanics, and I think that just all combined to make this map just so much easier. For If I could only give you one tip on this map, immediately get level 2 digging and get some mushrooms. Solves all your food problems and just live on mush bars in the interim. That would be my one piece of advice. After that, the rest of this map is pretty much handy as. Just lovely, lovely. I had so much fun playing this. This map just beautiful, beautiful. And still, everywhere you dig, it's just giving you more resources. You dig into caustic, you're just getting more coal and iron and algae for the bank. You dig into the salt biome, well, you've just got more salt and water for the bank. Slime biome, you've just got more algae, more slime for your food, and more water for, well, I'm not even sure what you want the water for. I'll probably set up an electrolyzer at some point. Well, would if I was going to continue this map. And rust biomes, of course, more oxygen. And that's it. Everywhere you go, it's just more resources. You can literally, without bothering to set up any electrolyzers or go above two coal generators, core out the entire map, except for the oil biome in space, of course. This is probably the easiest flowing map I have ever played. I think it even beats out the temperate biome for me in terms of just, yeah, ease of use. Anyway, I'll cut this out here. I know I may be harped on about a bit too much about how much this map is good. Oh, and one last thing. Yeah, several people have placed comments that what I should do is place a natural park in my actual ladder system. So I think I'm actually going to throw that down real quick. I'm going to crack open Sandbox to do that. 1 second. Some quick Sandbox magic, and what we have here is a nature reserve. All that I did was I planted a few mirth leaves here. You're just using a sandbox, but you could arrange for pips to be in here, of course. Actually, we'll open those doors. Yeah, I've got a 4 on still. Now, it does come with a minor negative. As your dupes travel between here and here, they will have to do a little hop animation, so it'll slow them down just a titch. But it does mean that the moment they leave their bedrooms in the morning, they will immediately run into a nature reserve, and when they come back in the evenings to use the bathrooms and the dining facilities, they will also pass through a nature reserve, giving them that +6 morale bonus all day, every day, no matter what they do. Well, unless they get trapped outside the base. If that happens, well, you're in more trouble anyway. So turning that into just a room as a nature reserve, recommended by several people in the comments, seems like an excellent idea. It's one of the reasons I left these pieces of dirt here. I was planning on doing it at some point, and then of course got distracted. Yeah, also leaving one down here, or was it? Where is it? Yeah, this one around the gate. Yeah, that was a less good idea. It works, but this seems much more reliable and much simpler to set up. Well, a little bit more difficult to set up, but definitely more consistently applies that bonus to your duplicants. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little trip to this map. I hope it helps you in your playthroughs. I know this was probably the most fun I've had with this since Badlands. So yes, these maps have been kicking my ass. I think next up I'll definitely get around to the volcano map. I really want to give that a go. I think that'll be in the next one up. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this map and good luck.